This is happening now. Let's do
it. Damn it, where's my arrow? What is up, everybody? Good evening.
Good evening to this circus that's about to begin.
Yeah, I can hardly wait.
LCD Soundsystem. This is happening. This is one of Hialeah's albums.
One of only 2 concert shirts I still have.
That's an oldie.
Excited to get into this one.
From 2010. This is from I've only seen them once. 2010. Awesome concert. My brother got me this shirt.
Hey, they're on tour right now.
They're on tour right now. Yes, they are, sir. 100%.
Atlanta looks like the closest place to Florida.
Yeah, they're not coming anywhere near. But Donnie, go ahead. Start us off.
All right. This is happening is the 3rd studio album, LCD Soundsystem. It is a dance punk electronica style. And this album was released May 17th, 2010. So Wednesday, it's got a birthday. This seems to be a common occurrence.
I just noticed that this evening. Everything. Anniversary.
Everything. It was recorded between April 1st, 2009 and February 24th of 2010. At the Mansion in LA and DFA in New York City. And the Mansion, I believe, is where that documentary, there's a little 15-minute documentary on YouTube called The Making of. This is happening. That documentary took place at that mansion. So definitely check that out. Not a lot of information, but it gets you an inside view of kind of James Murphy's process in doing an album. He's one person, but he's also a band. There's a full band, but it seems like he does a lot of the organization, the orchestrating of the music and so forth. It was produced by James Murphy, and it was released on DFA, Virgin, and Parlophone. And I didn't think Parlophone existed anymore. So that was interesting to find out.
What happened?
I don't know what happened.
Oh, we're silent. Jesus.
I'm sorry.
I derailed.
Thought I lost sound again.
I'm not as prepared as I should be.
Yeah, I did notice the turnaround from the time that they completed recording till the time this album came out was only a couple months, which to me, that's a pretty fast turnaround.
Yeah.
So I guess with him doing everything, he already knew what he wanted and how he wanted it. So I guess that saved a lot of time as far as, I mean, I don't know if he had another producer or somebody else to, master the.
So is it from what I'm gathering, it seems like it's a solo project, but when he does live performances, he has people play instruments. That's what it seems like.
Well, the documentary, the little thing on YouTube, he has all those people with him while he was recording. So
yeah.
I guess I'm assuming he figures out what he wants and then he shows them how to play it.
He gives it to them, I believe, but I think they have a strong input. The chick on the synthesizers, I forget her name. She's freaking amazing. She's done music with and I can't remember right now, and it's always I'm not prepared, but she does. I got CDs with her for other stuff, and it's all dance. It's kind of like in this genre, and she's amazing. I think her name is Wang, Susie Wang.
Yeah, Nancy
Wang. And she's freaking insane. She's really good. So I think it's all him, but he gets a lot of their input because it's the same people. She's been with him. She's still with him. So a lot of them are.
Yeah, if you look at the personnel section and under all the stuff that he does, it's like a full freaking paragraph. and everybody else, it's just one line of what they do.
Yeah, but I think it's more than that, dude. I don't know.
Oh yeah. In terms of the production of the album, that's the way it is. But
yeah, they kind of get crazy on that the personal part. I mean, like Cowbell tracks 5 and 7, and like they're like name brand instruments. Like the Roland System 100 was played by James Murphy.
Yeah,
the Roland SH 101 was played by
James Murphy.
James Murphy.
Casio MT68
Prophet 600. The Casio MT 400 was played on track 9. So that's unique. I never seen anything broken down like that to like specific keyboards and whatever, you know.
What do you guys consider this music?
I couldn't even figure out what category to put this in because it's all over the place. Like some sounds like a little dance music. I wouldn't call it techno. I wouldn't call it industrial. I wouldn't call it. I mean, I don't know.
That's kind of what dance is. It's kind of like its own little.
That's awesome.
I feel like what Donnie said earlier, I think, is what it sounds like. Dance, punk, electronic. That's pretty much exactly what it sounds like.
That's what I think. It's dance music, man.
It feels like a music. It feels like a music or a genre that they came up with names for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just because it exists. So it you got to name it something. So there it is.
It's really, it's such a unique sound. Like this type of music, I've really never listened to. I guess you could say never really got into. I enjoyed it. A little side note: we just watched Evil Dead Rise last week, and LCD Soundsystem was in that movie.
No way! Are you serious?
Dance Yourself Clean was in that movie.
Yeah, at the beginning.
What's up, actual Jack? Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's literally the only song, like actual song in the movie.
Yeah, it's the only song in the movie that wasn't a score.
Right.
It was Dance Yourself Clean.
Or ambient.
Nice.
I said, what are the freaking odds of that?
What are the odds that happened and that the album came out on the May 17th? That's crazy.
Yeah, the movie came out like last week. So
yeah.
It being that recent too.
You never would have noticed watching that movie who that music was, huh?
Nope,
never.
I'm sure you've heard them before and other stuff, and you just
I might have. I'm not familiar with their stuff, but when I hear their music from this album, the first thing that popped in my head was I remember hearing a band kind of like this on Major League Baseball 07 or 08 as like a startup to the game.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, so that's kind of like where I kind of place their music is stuff you would see like in video games, movies, stuff like that.
I'm sure they've been in a lot more stuff. I know I've heard it before. I can't think of what it was before. I'm thinking, I know I just saw Sweet Tooth, and I believe they did Radiohead in that. I'm not sure if it was LCD Soundsystem. I think Last of Us had Depeche Mode, and they might have had LCD System in that show too, but I'm not sure. But you've heard it, you just never knew who it was.
Yeah. So I guess it would this band or group or this musician basically is like perfect movie music.
It is. How did it fit into the movie?
Kid was listening to a vinyl. Is it a vinyl?
Yeah.
Because the kid was like a DJ and like he was practicing to be a DJ or whatever, and it was on in his room.
Cool.
He was practicing to it.
Do you guys see any influences in this music from past stuff?
I think so.
I want to say. I thought the big one was the Talking Heads.
Talking Heads, right?
That's the big one.
Big time.
And that's why when you said punk, I'm like, it's kind of like new wave, post punk. Then. Yeah.
I agree with that. One song in particular I was talking to him about earlier was I'm sorry if I'm jumping ahead. Just let me
Dude, let's
Let me
Do it.
let me find the track. It is I Can Change.
I can't change. Uh-huh.
When I heard that, I thought of the When in Rome song, The Promise.
Cool.
Because it has an 80s sound with like a modern, beat behind it.
I'm just blown right now. When in Rome, I promise. I just can't believe you knew that.
That's a great song.
That's awesome, Bo. Not a lot of people know that When in Rome too.
Yeah, when I heard that song, I'm like, oh, that kind of sounds like that song, and I'm thinking, because it has the 80s sound to it, and I dig it.
Yeah.
They kind of change, some stuff has kind of an 80s sound, some has the first track. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Avett Brothers. He sounds like one of the Avett Brothers singing with the beat behind it.
Wow.
Which they're kind of like a folk brother group.
Mm-hmm.
And in that first track, he sounds just like one of the Avett Brothers, which I thought was cool. So there's like they get a little bit of everything and put it all together with like the dance beat or the whatever you would call it.
What's that one?
The new wave.
This we could consider so many things. It's dance. It's It kind of repeats a lot, so it could be EDM. But EDM is more beats. It's not singing, so it's different.
Yeah, that's like rave music, and that's not really what this is.
Right. But there are a lot of remixes of these songs, and they get pretty much into rave and EDM. Yeah. They turn it into that.
It's dance music. At the end of it, it is. I feel like that's what represents it the most, and how I would classify it.
Me too.
Good time music.
Yeah.
Because you could hear this at a graduation party or a girls' night out party or,
going out, hanging out at
the club party.
Yeah, they had a couple. I was looking through something, I forget, and they did a lot of stuff with like Daft Punk and stuff, which is also kind of like that dance electronic.
Yeah. Daft Punk is they're dance EDM. Yeah. They're like the Godfather. Dance, punk, indie rock, disco.
Yeah, I heard Talking Heads and Cure and some bits of New Order.
Yeah,
even a little bit of Pink Floyd.
Forget what the one song was.
Yeah, because there is a few songs that has like a 60s, or at least a song here and there that kind of has like a 60s. The way it's sung lyrically and stuff like that have a 60s sound.
I was getting one of the tracks. I forget what it was, but because I've only listened to it like 2 or 3 times maybe, so I'm very not.
I listened to this album probably like 12 times.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which surprised the hell out of me because it's like I'm usually the last minute guy that'll listen the weekend up.
Wow.
After the last show, I put it on like the next day or whatever, and I said, okay, not bad, and I gave it another listen and listened to it at work, and I don't know, I just found myself listening to this album a lot.
You mentioned Daft Punk. This is their song. Daft Punk is playing at my house. It's from their first album. Mm-hmm. You guys got to listen to that. We'll listen to it in the after show. That's more punky and more. It's a fast song. That's probably my favorite. That's probably my second favorite song of theirs. Mm-hmm. That's my second favorite song of theirs. It's freaking amazing.
One of the songs, like lyrically, like how he was singing, I was like, it sounded like Bob Dylan, like how he writes, where it's just like words that rhyme but like don't make sense, kind of like I don't know, like a bigger picture to it, kind of.
Is it the line like acting like a jerk, but when you're actually a jerk? That
I forget. It was on one of the later tracks.
Okay. right.
But it has that Bob Dylan, like, because he's like he is lyrically kind of out there.
Yeah.
Weird stuff he writes about.
That's what made me. There's some times that made me think of early Zappa and a lot of the experimentation that he did. And I was like, he's pulling in influences from all over the place,
everywhere.
So you can tell he's got an eclectic taste in music himself, but he's also got, like, especially you can see it in that documentary, he just kind of he lets it go, and whatever happens. Yeah, and if it works, they all kind of look at each other, and we'll use that.
You could tell they're nerds.
Yeah.
They're just, let's do it. Let's try it. Who cares if it's not cool? Who cares? When I first saw him, it was like, dude, this guy, he's my age, and he's doing this band, and he's not. He's showing the Grays, but he's playing to a younger audience, and he doesn't give a crap. He just, I am who I am.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised with the way the music industry is and has been for many, many years. He kind of slipped through the cracks, because now music's all about image. You got to have somebody that meets a certain image, otherwise they ain't got a chance.
Yeah,
he's totally the opposite of that image. He looks like that picture behind you. He kind of looks like he would be like a youth pastor.
Yeah, totally. And
he looks like a super cool dude, laid back, don't care about what his hair looks like half the time.
I read up on him, and I know he had a lot of stuff that he was dealing with, and it was hard for him to put up the album. Anxieties and questioning himself, and keeping himself back. So I think he's past that.
Yeah, because apparently after this album, they went on a hiatus for a long time, like 10 years.
This was supposed to be their final, from what I gathered. This was supposed to be the end period.
Yeah, they did this. This is Shut Up and Play the Hits. This was like their farewell show. It was like I think you can't see it.
Blending in with the background.
How is right there? You see it?
There it is.
It's a concert film, but they do a lot of background stuff on here. They interview the producers, a ton of people, and this was, I think, a three-night stay in Madison Square Garden. I might get the dates wrong, but this was a 3-hour show. Their final show was like 3-hour show at Madison Square Garden, and it was supposed to be the end. And
yeah, because I watched a little show, a little performance from the Stephen Colbert where he was on there saying that was his last live TV appearance, and he was going to hang it up because he didn't want to get old and be that guy.
Yeah, but like they all do, they all come
back.
They all come back, and I want to talk about. You know what? Let's talk about it now, man. Going back, I'm a big Jane's Addiction fan. When they broke up, they should have stayed broken up. I can't stand anything that's come back. They should have just toured, in my opinion. And right now, if you see a Jane's Addiction from now, dude, it's embarrassing. They shouldn't be performing. He shouldn't be singing. It just hurts. I just don't want to see that.
Look at Motley Crue.
Same thing. It's just stay away, man.
Lead singer.
Yeah.
Stay away. Do something else.
Like the dude from the He-Man movie, the little Hobbit person.
He's bad. Bad.
I agree with that.
I feel the same way with him, but I just don't. I think they put out one more album after. I don't think I haven't gotten into it. I don't mind if they tour, because he still sounds good and all that. But just, man, I wish he would have just no more new music. Just tour and your old stuff and party and all that. But I don't know where I'm going, but it's okay. Anyway, you know what else? Oh, going back to Jane's Addiction. So I was watching a concert from 2018, and like in between songs, he goes, "Señoras y señoras, Señoras y señores, somos una adicción. And he shouted out Jane's Addiction. So that was pretty freaking cool. That's from Ritual the Ritual. Ritual the Ritual? Yeah. And he called them out. He called Jane's Addiction out. So he's got influences everywhere. What's up, John?
Johnny boy.
So you could tell him a little giddy, man, because I really love this man. I'll tell more stories if you want to hear them. No?
I was kind of surprised to see when I was looking at it, and like a lot of the tracks add up when each one's over 7 minutes long.
The CD's like an hour, right?
Yeah, I looked.
65 minutes.
Yeah, it's an hour and 5 minutes. And I looked because, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Tommy was the longest album we've done up to this point. I think so.
Really?
I think it is. I looked, and Tommy's only 10 minutes longer than this album. And it really
since you guys have been with us, yes, maybe.
Because that's the thing, that Tommy sounded so much longer because everything sounded so similar. It's weird that the all the tracks are longer, but it's easier to listen to.
Yeah, this album was
the same length, but with more tracks.
Yeah, this album was definitely easy to listen to. I guess that's why I listened to it so much.
I was questioning myself because I listened to this today. I listened to the one that came before it, and I was like, man, I should have picked the one before because it might be a better album.
Really?
It might be a better. It's right up there. It's even. It might be better, man. Honest. But and the first one's excellent too. So
when I first listened to it, especially "Dance Yourself Clean," I'm like, this sounds like a Gorillaz song, like exact. Like this could go on any of their albums, and it fits seamlessly. Yeah, it just has that style, like I wouldn't call it mumble talk, but it's kind of like he's just talking and that's it.
Speaking of that, let me add one thing to "Dance Yourself Clean." The first couple of times I heard that song, it pissed me off so bad. Because it's like you got to crank it up to hear what the hell he's singing. The next thing you know, it just fucking breaks in and blows your eardrums out your face.
Bro, isn't that awesome, dude? When that drops.
So after the
first time wearing headphones,
numerous times of listening to it, I knew when to kind of turn it back down before it killed my eardrums.
Dude, but when it drops, you could just, let's say it's a house party. When that shit drops, you could just see everybody. So good, man. It's so good.
Yeah, eardrum explosion.
Yeah.
First time I heard, I was not expecting that. Because I had my over the ears on,
Yeah.
And so it's like, what is he saying? You turn that thing up, it's just to hear the beginning song, and what? Son of a bitch.
Stop him off.
Bro, that is so good, bro. I love that song. I know my daughter put this album on for some friends, and she put that song, and they were like the same thing. They were just waiting for it, and it's like, what is this? It's just a guy talking. And then the minute it dropped, she was like, oh my god, my friends were all over the place. They loved it.
I've seen they also had a re-release of this, I guess, that had extra tracks and stuff. Did you guys see that?
No, I did not. Don't know that.
One question: Did they ever put out an album? Because from the interview I heard, it sounded like they just said he put out 3 EPs, which this is a very long EP. But maybe that's just the way he worded it. But
yeah, exactly, because these are albums.
Yeah.
So this particular version has 20 tracks compared to the 9 off the original.
God. Where did you see that?
It's on
on what?
Yeah,
it's on Pandora.
Remaster.
Oh, I'll have to look it up, definitely.
But it looks like it has
remixes.
Something. It's got other songs on there like Us Versus Them, London Session, All I Want, London Session, Drunk Girls, London Session.
That's songs from the second album.
Demos and stuff.
Drunk Girls. you'll like Drunk Girls, Boat, Little Boat.
Honestly,
I had some weird lyrics in that song.
That one I felt was probably the most forgettable.
Drunk Girls?
I feel like it was too short. I felt
Oh,
like.
no, I'm not thinking Drunk Girls. I'm thinking
that one's like 2 minutes long compared to all the other 10-minute tracks. It falls under the cracks and forget about it.
I'm thinking this other song. I'm sorry. Drunk Girls is on this one. It's All American Scum.
Mm-hmm.
That's on their second album. Listen to that. But it's more punky. Drunk Girls is, I don't know. I like Drunk Girls too. There's only one song. There's one song in here that I really don't like the way it's just too long. But
I would say the second half of this album was a little more forgettable than the first half. The first half was on point. Like I said, as many times as I've listened to this album, I don't remember much about the second half. As far
I think as far as the second half, the last song I really freaking love. I believe if I'm thinking right. The song,
good song.
The song that I think is too long is One Touch. That goes on too long.
Where's that? Yeah, probably.
That one they could have shortened it a lot.
Like you said, it's like the third shortest song on the album too.
I really did not like Pow Pow.
Yeah, I think that was the one that went on.
I couldn't.
That one.
I couldn't get more than a minute into that, and then
yeah.
No.
That one probably shouldn't have went on for 9 minutes.
Yeah, that's probably the weakest.
Yeah, I want to change. I think was it One Touch? Hold on. Like I'm kind of forgetting because I haven't listened to it a lot.
I want to hear Pow Pow now. I can't think of. I'm not good with names, bro. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself because I want to hear this shit real quick. What up? Sure.
But yeah, Drunk Girls is the one that kind of reminded me of a little bit of Talking Heads.
Yeah,
I was really into that one, and I Can Change. I really liked.
Yeah, Drunk Girls was good. After the third or fourth time hearing it, I don't know, kind of got a little old, I guess. But it's a good song. But after like the sixth or seventh listen to, that was, one that I didn't, but that'd be one I could skip past. And
I think you're forgiven after 6 or 7 listens, though, bro.
Yeah.
But after track 5, that's why I said it's like, I can't. I agree. I can't even think of how these songs go as much as I listen to them. Those kind of bleed together for me.
Yeah. Pow Pow is forgettable. Yeah.
I wonder if there's something listed here called the London Sessions, and it was released in 2010. I wonder if that didn't package the two of them together.
They must have. They must have, because everything that was extra on that one I just read you had London Session behind it.
Yeah. And then this one had us versus them, and
except for the OU, it was OU Christmas Blues, and it had Throw on track 10, and then everything else from 12 to 20 was London Session.
On the wiki, they have those two that you just mentioned as deluxe edition bonus tracks. So that would, if they did that, they threw that one on London Sessions.
And I think what my problem was for majority of my listens, I was listening to this deluxe version, and it was a little while before I actually scrolled down and I actually found the actual release that had 9 tracks.
Yeah.
So I mean that's probably how I lost some of second half of the album was because it just went on and on and on and on.
It can't do that.
I brought it up at work on my computer, and we were listening to it in there, and then all of a sudden it switched to one of the other albums, and my coworker was like, I don't like this one. I don't know what it was, but it had like a black cover. She was
I
like,
think that's their first album.
Yeah,
that's their first album. I found out about these people because remember when Spin Magazine, Rolling Stone, they would come out with like their top albums of the year.
Yeah.
So I was living with my brother at the time, and he. So I had my Spin Mag, and I was like, "Oh man, this sounds good." They made it like top 20 album, one of the top 20 albums. I forget what number it was, and I go, "I've never heard of them." And it was for the album before this, and I was like, "Okay, I went and bought it, and then I started listening to it. And I'm like, "Oh my god, this is freaking amazing!" And then I get home, or a couple of days later, I see my brother, and it's like, "Bro, you gotta listen to this album. You gotta listen to this song, man." And I start playing it for him, and he goes, "Man, I told you about them like 2 weeks ago, bro. I played this for you like 2 weeks ago, and now you're telling me, bro."
Yeah, I did see that. I think this album was number 10 or something on the top 30 albums of 2010, Rolling Stone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw the one. Well, of course, it was the one before this one, and Sound of Silence, Sound of Silver. That's it. And I freaking fell in love with them. And I went to this concert with my brother, and this is October. So this was 6 months after my dad passed, right? And this album came out like 2 months after my dad passed. And me and my brother went, and it was just fucking amazing. And they got this song called Someone Great. You guys got to hear that album.
Definitely give it a listen to.
It's really good.
So this definitely has a lot of sentimental value to you. It's probably one of the reasons why this was one of your
I think so.
Top 2 picks.
Yeah, after I picked it, I was like, "What? I could have picked something so much better, or not better, but But my brother got me this shirt at the concert. He surprised me with it, and you guys don't know, Ben, but me and my brother haven't talked in like 7 years.
Well, I'm glad you picked it because I enjoyed it.
I'm glad you did.
I enjoyed this album. Didn't think I would.
I didn't think you would either.
In a million years, I did not think I would.
I didn't think you would either, man. But it's happy music, bro. It's just party music. It's party music with an edge. It's not just straight up disco and love, and it's got a meaning to it. And dude, they put on an amazing show. Very simple, and you would think they're it's like a DJ, but it's not. They're all playing instruments. They're all freaking musicians.
Yeah,
and I think
that's why I think it is likable, because it is all over the place. It's not just one thing that'll burn you out, or if I'm not into, say, one particular genre and this is that genre, well, this doesn't really meet any genre to me.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I couldn't place it in a genre, but I guess the dance, punk, indie, rock sounds good to me.
when this came out, like I said, I was living with my brother, and we were still going out. And this was like on the we had the CD on, and that's what we were listening to get to the club, to go hang out. And it was just perfect, man. It just got us in the mood. We were excited to go out, go dance, go. It was just fun. It didn't mean it, it wasn't even going out to anywhere. We were just at home listening to it, and we would just jam and play Xbox and listen to LCD Soundsystem, and it's just happy music for the most. There are a couple of slow songs, but for the most part, it's just energy, and
yeah,
it's good. I love it. I miss Spin Magazine.
Magazines, period.
Yeah. used to be the best.
This is one of those. I was like Jim. I listened to it quite a few times. Trying to get into it, because there was the elements that I liked, that I was like, oh, I like that. Mm-hmm. Let's keep that. Some of the songs for me were a little long in the tooth.
Yeah.
But it's one of those type of albums that you already said it. It translates better live.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I mean, there's some albums that don't translate live, but this is one that translates better live.
It's live. It's freaking great, man.
Right. That's because it goes for the good time. That's why their songs are longer. You don't want to look at a punk concert. It's like you get a minute long song. It's like,
yeah.
It's like the song's done and over before you even get a chance to look up at the stage.
Yeah.
And with it being dance music and party music, you got to keep it going. Keep the flow of the people and keep the good time going as long as possible.
Yeah, you can't switch it up too fast because it just doesn't work. Yeah.
So for that being said, that's perfect. Just as far as the song length goes, if for the club and the dance and stuff.
Club, dance, party at your house. Dude, Daft Punk is playing at my house is basically what it is. Daft Punk is playing at my house. Oh my God, dude, you guys gotta listen to that song. That's When Someone Great Is Gone is my number one because of the emotional connection that I have to it. And that's a very solemn song, but it does have a beat. It's actually a very good song. But a party song, Daft Punk is playing at my house. It's fabulous.
I have to check that out.
It's so. We're gonna listen to it after the show's over.
Okay, perfect. We'll
listen to it. Donnie, do you got sales on this album, if any?
Billboard, it made it to number 10, which for me, in that genre, not being able to place it, that's pretty damn good.
They have a following, man.
In the UK, it was certified silver with 60,000 units. So I don't know if there's any other sources. I don't know. Drac might know.
Yeah, they're not. What is it? In every household, famous or anything. It's definitely a cult.
Yeah.
People are just you find them and you love them and you get into them, and they don't have a ton of music, but it's enough, man. Because it's like you said, you heard it a ton of times. I could hear it, and it almost becomes elevator music, and I'm just feeling good and listening to it in the background. I don't definitely have to be listening to it, and it's just, I'm doing stuff, and it just plays well, man. It's great for drives. My friend Richard.
Yep.
Oh my God. Driving up the last time we hung out, the time before I put them on, he didn't like them. I don't know if he didn't like them or it's just because I like them, he's gonna hate them kind of thing. So this last time when we went to MegaCon, he goes, let's listen to LCD Soundsystem. Let's listen to LCD. And he put one song and it was an extended version, and it was like after like an hour. I was like, Richard, I'm even sick of this, bro. Can you please change it? He was just shitting. He just shits on him all the time. And dude, and I just every time we're driving now, we're gonna listen to LCD Soundsystem. You hate him, we're listening to it. You hate it that much. But I don't get tired of this, man. I freaking love LCD.
I found numbers, Tyler. 211,000.
How much?
211,000 copies. That was as of 2016, though.
Wow. Wow. So is this the least? I know the least successful album that we've heard.
I think the Steelers might be lower.
Yeah,
Really?
Steelers might be a little
Yeah, I
lower.
think it's a lot lower.
Wow.
That's indie underground punk, and they don't get much more obscure than that.
Wow. I thought they were more popular than that.
Not really. I think that one only had a.
Yeah, they didn't really break out until the third album. Second album. Third album. Second. One of the two.
I would love to see these guys. I was trying to plan it last year because they were here. Actually, there's like a 3 Points festival that they have in Wynwood here in Miami. And they were playing, I think, every night. But the tickets were just so crazy. I just couldn't bring myself to buy the tickets. Because it was a festival kind of thing. So it wasn't just them. But I would love to go one day to see them with my daughter. She's really into them. My oldest son, he's more into the hip hop and the rap. My other son, Ryan, he's more into the it's crazy, man. He's into Grateful Dead. He's into EDM. He's into that kind, the what is it, the jam bands and all that. And then she's into this and everything. She's into everything. And I would love to hopefully one day get tickets and go see a show with her. I think it'll mean the world to her, and to me. So hopefully I can make that happen one day. So they do tour, man. So there's a possibility. And like you said, they're touring right now. And they're doing a lot of shows. I think they're in New York. They're in, like you said, the closest is Atlanta.
Yeah. It's crazy because they're doing 2 shows in Atlanta. They're playing Atlanta. Then they're driving to Louisiana and then back to Atlanta again.
They're at Red Rocks in like 2 weeks. That must be amazing to watch them at Red Rocks, man.
Man.
They do have a fan base, man. They do, and they usually, I think they usually sell out or come close to it.
Can you tell us? Can you tell us in the audience what LCD stands for?
I have no idea. I've never looked it up.
Well, you're in luck.
I've never cared.
LCD stands for
CDL
Liquid Christmas Display.
Liquid Christmas Display. Sound system. Liquid Christmas Display sound system.
Yeah. And there's a little story why it's called the whole Christmas thing. So
I've never looked it up, man. I've never looked it up. That's funny. That's real funny. Napster stole all their sales, according to Journey.
That's very well possible. But
Yeah.
I think that's even before them, though.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
before them.
probably.
Yeah. But I'm glad you guys you heard this. It was a little different from what we've been listening to.
oh yeah, it was good. It was good to have a break. A nice little change of pace, and like I'm excited to get to the B-52s too because I've never listened to those folks.
Have you heard that album?
No, not yet.
Oh my God, you're in for a treat, bro.
I can't wait. I've been waiting for that one.
It's in my truck right now. Love that album.
You're in for a treat. So LCD Sound System, baby. All day, all night.
Donnie, do you have a favorite song?
Wait. Look at Gore. Dude, that's the number one song on the album, dude. On B-52s. Number one song.
Planet Claire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're all good. You've got to listen to the rest of their albums if you haven't. They are all good. All good. LCD Sound System. I'm sorry. Favorite songs?
I don't know. Probably Drunk Girls. I really dug that one. I don't know why.
Worst song? I think it's Pow Pow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the worst one for me.
I didn't care for Somebody's Calling Me either. I just didn't.
I don't remember what that song even sounds like.
Yeah.
I gotta go listen to my dude. I just listen to the songs. I don't know them by name so much.
I like. I know it's kind of a toss up. I like Dance Yourself Clean, but I also like I Can Change.
What was?
I can change. I can change.
I feel like Dance Yourself Clean, and I really enjoyed All I Want. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Had like a Joy Division feel to
it. Dance Yourself Clean. I didn't like until about 2.5 minutes in.
I just hate the damn sound adjustment. It pisses me off every time. I would have got the point if they just left it all at the same audio level.
Oh man, dude, when it drops, bro, it's so good, bro.
But that also makes the drop seem louder than it is.
Yeah, it's exactly because you think it's big, it's you, and it's really not that big. It's just kicks in.
Just the contrast between it being so quiet.
Okay, my favorite is Dance Yourself Clean and You Wanted a Hit. I love You Wanted a Hit. Those are my favorites. And
Yeah, I'm just still blown away that I'm watching Evil Dead Rise and never heard of this band. Never heard of this band in my life. You know, watching Evil Dead, you know, my favorite franchise, besides Back to the Future. It was in the damn movie. I couldn't believe it. And it was a song from this album.
Dude, that's crazy, right?
Unbelievable.
You need to watch that movie. That movie's fantastic.
Where's that playing on?
Theaters.
Theaters still?
It's in theaters, but I have
we have our ways.
I'll tell you in the after party.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Fine. $10,000 fine from the FBI.
I'll wait until it comes out. I'll wait.
It's actually true. Like, you know, like beginning like DVDs and old VHS have like the FBI warnings. Is that stuff true?
I've never heard of anybody getting busted. No.
Neither have I. That stuff used to terrify me because it's just like just silence.
I watched a lot of movies on DivX when I was in college.
We probably have.
I'm not familiar with DivX. It was while they're in theaters.
Close to 1,000 burn movies. I don't think we ever paid for a movie.
We used to have
10 years.
We used to have those burnt movies.
I'm the only idiot that pays for his shit.
Still do, but we used to too.
We used to do.
All right, Donnie. What are we doing next? B-52s. B-52s. Let's keep it going.
I give this album 2 thumbs up.
Thank you, Bo. Thank you, guys. That's fair. That's fair. It's not for everybody, man. It's not for everybody.
Yeah, it definitely ain't. But it was a good change of pace for me.
It's a happy. It's not going to get you down. It's going to pick you up, kind of music. So,
I know I've said it before. That's the point of the show.
Yeah,
that's what I love about it. Hearing stuff I would never hear before.
We would talk about the cover, but there's not too much to the cover, and there's probably no history on it. It's just a picture of him, right?
Yeah, well, just a picture of him on stage.
Documentary, you seen him taking the photos.
Yeah,
that little clip y'all. Who sent that? You, Donnie, or
Donnie?
Yeah, in that little video, you see the photographer come to the house while they're recording and take all them pictures.
Oh my God! Look what Journey just put. Go back to the beginning of the show, Journey. We talked about this. We talked about when in Rome, the promise.
I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back for that one.
Wow, dude! Today's show has been crazy, right? A lot of little coincidences.
And you didn't think that this show was even going to go on this long.
I know, dude. It's crazy. Oh my God! I can't believe you just said that. And I don't think he's been here when you. I don't think he was here when you said it, right? When you brought it up. I don't believe so.
Think so.
Wow. Yes, we talked about it earlier, Journey.
There was me an internet.
You gotta watch the beginning of the show.
Spin that wheel.
What are we doing? Oh my God.
My internet's being sketchy, so bear with it.
I know. I can see your mouth not moving in
You know what I mean?
What the hell?
I don't know what it picked.
Social D.
I don't know. I think it's social distortion.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's all right. B-52s can wait. It'll break it up again.
You know that'll be the last one we do.
Probably.
This is my second and final pick album.
Yeah. Wait.
Dude.
Social Distortion, self-titled album.
Now this is
Your last
actual.
one?
No, self-titled. This was probably their third album.
Okay.
This band probably produces the least amount of albums in their whole career. They've been around since '79, and I think they might got 5 albums.
And they're still around today.
Wow. I didn't know that old.
I used to have the album where he's like jumping with the guitar or something.
I really love that. It was a toss-up between picking this album and that album, somewhere between Heaven and Hell. I really love that album.
I used to have that.
I love that album. But for some reason,
That one. I used to have that album.
for some reason, I thought I'd go with the self-titled.
Sounds good. Kind of like me, the same thing. You got to pick one, right?
Yep, and I think the one we're doing was the album right before that one.
Okay.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think they had Mommy's Little Monster, then Prison Bound, and then I think that one.
Yeah, that sounds.
And then
right.
somewhere between Heaven and Hell. And then White Heat, White Lies, White Heat, whatever. I can't remember that one. And then 2 more. So what is that? Yeah, they only got like 6 or 7 albums out. They're getting ready to go in recording now.
Really?
79. They've been together since 79. Or
Wow.
a band.
Wow.
No, that sounds good though. This and then Blackmail. Those are the only 2 albums left I have not, or that I have heard. So once we get finished with Black Metal, I'm done. I don't know anything.
Go, Donnie. Go back to the albums that are left. I don't know. Have I heard any?
We got Sublime is left, Venom, Black Metal, B-52s.
Sublime. I've heard a couple of their hits. I don't know what's on that album, so I've never heard one of their albums.
And I think that's it.
I've
Right,
heard-
Donnie?
Then Blue Oyster Cult.
Blue Oyster Cult.
Yeah,
And I haven't heard the whole album of theirs.
out of this whole list, I've only heard 5 albums. The 2 we picked, and then Venom, and that's it. So,
Wow. Yeah, I'm pretty much right there with you. I think I got less. I think the 2 albums that I've heard that I picked are the only ones I've heard.
Because I was the only one to hear Milo, so that's my extra point.
Milo was really freaking good, bro.
Yes.
Yeah,
Milo was. I liked the whole backstory. I liked everything about that album. I thought it was.
That album converted me to like being a fan.
Yeah.
I was talking to my daughter about it. We went out this Saturday, and she was down, and and she's heard Milo, and she really loves it too. Because I was telling her about our show and what albums we're doing and all this, and she knew Milo.
All right, on.
Cool, yeah.
All right, well, that sounds like a wrap, Donald.
This album is the last one on the list that I hadn't heard prior to making the list. So, but I've been listening to it a lot in the truck. So,
which one?
Social Distortion.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Very good.
So there you have it. LCD Sound System. This is happening. 2 weeks. Social Distortion self-titled album. I hope you'll join us. Hopefully back on our regular night.
Thank you guys, by the way.
Forget about it.
And come on.
You're a good fella.
You're a good fella. In the meantime, get out there and listen to some music.